dozen pending investigations into Pruitt by the EPA's Inspector General. The Senate Ethics Committee is publicly admonishing a senator for the first time in 6 years. The panel determined that New Jersey Democratic Senator Robert Menendez accepted gifts and trips over a 6-year period in violation of Senate rules. Here's NPR's Susan Davis.
The ethics panel unanimously found that Menendez violated Senate standards and brought discredit to the chamber. The committee's ordering Menendez to repay the fair market value of all gifts that violated Senate rules and to update his financial disclosures to reflect repayment. Menendez accepted numerous gifts from Dr. Salomon Melgen, a longtime friend and supporter who was sentenced to 17 years in prison for Medicare fraud back in February. The senator faced a criminal trial last year related to his ties to the doctor, but it ended in a mistrial, and Menendez was never charged with any wrongdoing. The Ethics Committee, however, concluded that his behavior did not meet the standards of the U.S. Senate. Susan Davis, NPR News, Washington.
Package shipper UPS says more deliveries coupled with higher revenue per package led to a boost in first quarter growth. UPS says its earnings were $1.35 billion for the quarter. On Wall Street today, the Dow was up 238 points. You're listening to NPR.
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip, unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, Technologic.
Live from studios in Self Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael, Bruce, and the Guru.
I cannot believe it. I can't believe it, folks. I am proud to say we have a guest in the studio tonight. The individual is usually a host on the show, but tonight only, apparently, we have the Bruce back in the house. I mean,
thank you.
There are people cheering all over the universe.
I wouldn't say it this week only, though. Probably not next week.
Well, we'll get to that later because we probably won't have a show at all next week.
See, not missing anything.
Yeah. Well, anyway, and also, of course, as always, the most wonderful Guru is here tonight.
Not as always. Sometimes I miss out, unfortunately, but I'm glad to be here tonight.
Well, we all missed out for quite too long.
I know.
Yeah. Wasn't our doings.
Sure wasn't.
We're back, baby. At least for this week. At least for this week. So if you're just joining us tonight and you turn on the radio to 91.9 or listening to us over the internet, this is the Hey Techies Show, and I'm Michael, and Bruce, you heard his lovely voice, and the Guru, of course. And if you're long listeners of the show, we appreciate you listening very much. Our website is HeyTechiesShow.com.
That was just one E.
Yeah, not long. Yeah. HeyTechiesShow.com. And you can send questions at HeyTechiesShow.com. And we finally got the phone fixed. So that phone number is 256-782-5600. If you want to call in and be on the Hey Techies
remembered
Show.
It.
Of course he did.
He had a little pause delay there.
I do that in my sleep. I've said it so many times.
Right. It rolls off the tongue.
Well, man, 5600.
It is so glad. I'm so glad to be back in.
Yes,
with everybody, with all three of us.
I've missed this so much.
Wow, we've missed.
But I've been doing important work.
Oh yeah, well we've all been doing that.
So.
Not as important as you, but
I wouldn't say that.
We've all been doing that.
I would not.
Well, there's so much to cover tonight. I mean, I really don't know where to get started, to be honest with you. So just a quick, if you want to share, I want to bring the listeners up to date. Your home is located over in a real section where the tornado had a major effect. Yeah. Guru and I do not live in the area, but Bruce actually does. We're not going to give his address out, but anyway, he lives over in that area, and so you weren't here.
Yes, I was not here,
And you were trying to get third-party information, right?
Well, it was kind of interesting whenever it happened. My dog was actually still here.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy check in.
Sure.
And he was like, "Hey, do you want me to?" He said, "What do you want me to do with the dog?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Well, it's supposed to get pretty bad tonight." I was like, "I'll be okay." Like I had no clue.
Yeah.
Apparently, like many
Right.
other people, they had no clue it was going to get that bad. Which he's okay. Go ahead and
Yeah. No
stop the
animals were
suspense
hurt in
there.
this story.
So yeah, I was actually down at the beach. Most people knew that. People
Well, sure.
that I work with at
Right.
both places. And some thought I was, but wanted to make sure. But yeah, and I actually had my front porch camera pulled up, and I was like, man, that sounds like a freight train. I was like, maybe it's just sirens and there's some distortion
Yeah.
in the audio since the wind was blowing so hard, because it was.
Right.
Did you save that? Did
and-
you save that clip?
I don't know. So we'll get to that.
Okay.
In a minute.
All right.
So as I'm sitting there watching, this car just drives down the road,
Yeah.
stops at the stop sign, goes, and I was like, man, what idiot is out in this? and about 10 seconds later, it goes black, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
well, I know just the power didn't go out because all my stuff's on battery backup.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was like, so the internet, just-
Right.
you lost connectivity.
Oh, yeah. A lot
I
of
was like-
connections were lost.
So
And they're still lost today.
Yeah. that's-
So I did. I was texting back and forth with you guys and some other people, and of course everybody was tracking the polygons and all that.
Sure.
Right. Respect the
Had-
polygon.
Had to use that.
Yeah,
But,
that's
Of
right.
course.
I was like, what is this polygon? I remember Span talking about it.
That's
but
a
I
parallelogram, right?
just remember the Viper 9000.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh,
he used the Viper 9000.
Yeah, use the Viper 9000 to
Yeah.
figure out all the polygons. But anyways, so I was it was up in the air. We didn't know what happened to our house. It was dark when it happened.
Sure.
Some family that it was amazing that I was able to text with them. I think they were the only people in that area of Jacksonville that was able to text, because there's other people you couldn't text, call, like everything was down. I don't know how his phone was working.
Yeah, right.
And he said, well, we had a tree fall in over our driveway, so we're stuck. He's like, but I'll walk down to your house in the morning and check.
right.
Well, our neighbors across the street, they were stuck in their home because power lines were completely around their
Right,
house. And
right.
there's
Oh
like-
gosh.
Yeah.
They couldn't get out the front door.
There's a lot of that over there in the area.
Yes. So they sent us some pictures from their front porch of our house. and
Yeah,
I was
which
like,
you sent to me.
couldn't really see anything. I was like,
Right.
well, my shed's gone for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But the thing that I was like, there's a tree up in that tree.
yeah, that's true. There was.
And
That was like
it was a big tree.
That's what I
in
showed
a
my.
bigger tree.
That's right. Yeah. So I showed my wife. I was like, "Look at this tree out where Drew lives."
Yeah. So at first we had no idea what we were coming home to. Of course we were, especially my wife. She was anxious. She's like, "We need to go home right now." I was like, "Oh, absolutely not." With 2 kids, no.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there's not gonna be power for days, which I will say, very impressive.
Oh yes.
Man, what,
Yes.
2.5 days they had power restored to
To-
every single home that could have power.
That's
restored.
correct. Yeah.
That's very
amazing.
remarkable considering the amount of infrastructure that got lost.
Yes,
But
Very.
it is. But I want to do this. I want to say this in a different way. I was not all that surprised given the abilities that I know they can do.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
And how great they are at what they do. How much they train. I think I've mentioned on the show they train other places.
They do.
Yeah.
To
I
do
will
this type of
I will
coverage.
say this for our listeners that do not realize this, Alabama Power specifically of
Right.
Southern Company, they are looked at in the highest regard. They lead the industry
Right.
in that. Of course, they go and support other
Sure.
other energy companies, and they come and support us. They all have agreements.
Yeah.
But they literally, like you said, they run clinics.
They do. I mean, I no doubt about it.
And
It's
if
clear.
your power does go out, and I know people get frustrated because I've even had my aunt say, I had to wait 27 hours for electricity. Safety is
Oh, yeah.
is
Oh yeah,
priority,
absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
no joke, people die
Absolutely.
bringing you
That's
bringing
correct.
you power.
That's correct.
And I would much rather them go home to their families
too.
than me go an extra day.
Totally agree.
Exactly.
But it is so if you do don't go on Twitter and get frustrated. Those guys are working as hard as they can, and their families, they're doing
Absolutely.
without
Yeah.
that person while they are.
And some of their power
Weeks.
may be out because they
Yeah.
may live over there,
Exactly.
or in another affected area.
But that later on that day we got some messages. Basically, all we lost was the shed. A lot of trees came down in the yard, and we lost one pane of glass on a double pane window.
Yeah.
And 3 more pieces of glass in the garage, and a lot of little things.
Right.
Yeah.
Patio furniture was messed up, stuff but nothing to our house.
Right. No major roof
No,
damage.
no roof damage
No, that's
whatsoever.
good.
Nothing
Yeah.
fell in the house.
Because a lot of folks can't say that, unfortunately. I don't
No.
mean to chuckle, but
We
I
were
chuckle
very
in the
fortunate.
amazing. It's
We
just
were very fortunate.
all the roof damage, mostly from trees falling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've actually sold our home since then and
Yeah.
purchased a new one. And that house suffered no damage. Again, just trees. So, again, we were very, very,
Yeah,
very,
right.
very fortunate.
Well,
And
good.
It is still surreal. it's been how long since it happened?
A month.
And
a little over a month now, I think.
And every day I drive through there, and it's just because I've been in that area so long. And just driving through Jacksonville is just different. No
Before the
trees.
show, Guru and I were talking, and he was reading off some articles. How many Olympic pools was it?
Okay,
It was,
so the day they announced they're halfway through the debris removal,
right.
and they've hauled off enough debris to fill 70 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
I would think it's more than that, to be honest.
It's in the hundreds of thousands of cubic yards.
Yeah, it was.
What they've done is remarkable in the debris haulaway
absolutely.
piece, but the fact that they're only halfway through shows the scale of how much vegetation, trees we lost.
Yeah. So whenever I came home, I came home down. I went through Mountain.
Right.
Came home that way. And I was just amazed at how much debris there was just in that.
Yeah.
And then a couple days later, I was like, okay, it's kind of safe to go around. And I was able to, because I had people while I wasn't even at home already cleaning up my yard.
I know
the
you
response
told
was
me that.
amazing.
Yeah.
And so after I took care of the few little last things at my house when we got home, I got out and I went around and helped. Took my chainsaw and helped people cut, and I actually went down towards where the Baptist and Catholic church are, and I was in awe.
Yeah.
That place got hit really hard.
Yeah.
And then one day when I was coming home from work, I actually came up through 204 down that way.
Yeah, it's
and
rough.
I had not realized
Right.
that, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, just leveled on one side of the road. I mean, just from the church. I mean, it just like it stuck there, and it was just like, phew. It's amazing. And then it would lift. It's just so amazing how that nature. But anyway,
it's amazing from all the stuff you see driving around that this house demolished, and then this one's pristine. So
yeah. Well, I wanted our listeners to know that everything was all right. So, hey, Techie Show, be right back.
We're just getting started. Plenty more Hey Techies Show for your listening pleasure.
Do you need a job? Are you stuck in a job you don't really like? Do you want to make more money? If you answered yes to any of these questions, your local Alabama Career Center can help you. Career Centers provide services to job seekers who are looking to land a job, make a career move, or to get some valuable vocational or educational training. Call or visit your local Career Center today, where professionals will help you with your resume, teach you how to nail that interview, and can even help you get training for that dream job. All of these services are available at no cost to you. The first first step in finding your dream job is making sure you're prepared to land it. And don't just take our word. Keosha Smith, now an LPN, is very happy with the guidance she received.
My overall experience, I would say, was totally awesome. If you're looking for a job or if you want a better job, the Career Center would be a wonderful choice.
Visit us today, www.joblink.alabama.gov. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Labor, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station. In Alabama, the recycling industry employs nearly 11,000 men and women. Recycling just 10% more would create an additional 1,400 jobs and $66 million in personal income. To learn about recycling opportunities in your area, contact the Alabama Environmental Council. Recycling works in Alabama. Brought to you by the Alabama Environmental Council, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Right now, it's a great time for anybody ready to get some real work done in Alabama. Whether you're somebody who needs to hire, somebody who wants to get hired, or a student who wants to know how to prepare to get hired, there's a new unified force for your success and a brighter future. It's time to get to work, Alabama. Alabama works.
Sponsored by Alabama Works, the ABA, and this station. Visit alabamaworks.com.
Do you have a product, service, event, or just about anything to promote, but you have always assumed it was just too expensive? Then listen up. It's not. Here at WLGS, we have every patron spot available with a pricing plan that is sure to fit any budget. Just think your very own patron announcement with the potential to reach thousands. There are a few restrictions, but let us worry about that. Email us at questions@heytechieshow.com. That's questions@heytechieshow.com. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show.
This show brought to you by Monster and Butterfinger, but not really.
According to Bruce,
it really was. It has helped me do the show.
It has put energy into his stomach.
It has. I love Butterfingers.
Yeah,
a little too much.
Yeah, he had to pay for them though.
I did. Paid for them.
Right.
He gave a coupon to Michael.
Yeah, for M&Ms.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't a Butterfinger. Take this.
Right.
You know, there's some people that just absolutely hate Butterfingers.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes.
How can you hate a Butterfinger?
Well, I'm one of those.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, no.
So you know, you're the person I want to follow around on Halloween. I'm like, oh, they gave you Butterfingers. Hand it over. I've known people like they're like, take them, please, all of them. I'm like, yes. Oh, but
you're like, yes, I won the lottery, sort of.
So I want to bring something up real quick.
Okay.
I know you've got a lot of stuff ready.
Well, I do, but we won't get to all of it. But that's not important.
But this will maybe create a little bit of debate.
So
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about emojis.
Oh,
and
maybe I have this.
They brought up something about some of the emojis that are used, and one of them being a gun.
Yes.
And
I actually have a story. That's what I was fixing to talk about.
Oh, okay. And wow.
Because me and Guru, just a backstory.
Yeah.
This is an update to a discussion that Guru and I had.
This shows how little we practice.
This is live.
Yeah.
We do it just fresh live. No, don't ever think that
this is rehearsed.
No
totally
way. No, but I'll let you get to it. But just a backstory to bring everybody up. Guru and I talked about this topic, emoji guns.
Yeah.
This topic, because there was a news article a couple of weeks ago, and we covered a little bit.
Yeah.
This is an update to that because I know there's some updates. But go ahead.
Say a lot of them are changing to water guns.
A lot of guns have.
Yeah.
Yes, most of them have.
Yeah, and I think Google's joining them.
Google, and I'm glad you brought this up. Google has joined them. Yeah. They're joining them this year.
Okay.
What's odd about Google, they had in 2013 they had a really old looking gun.
Yeah.
It was like a pop gun where you would have to put the stuff in it. What do you call it? Oh, the powder. You have to, like a Civil War. It's a handgun.
Yeah.
But now they have what looks like a big water pistol.
Okay.
Supposedly in 2018. But the holdouts were Microsoft, which 2018 they still have a revolver, and Facebook, which still looks like a Western revolver with the old Western 8-shooter with a wooden handle.
Okay.
So what were you going to talk about? Because I know what I feel about it. But what
okay, well, so that was going to kind of bring up the topic is
where were you going with? Because I mean,
well, so I can tell you what I think. One, granted, I am strong supporter Second Amendment.
Correct. Yeah.
But first of all, how are you going to play Clue now with emojis?
That is a good point.
So this is about.
There's no water pistol in Clue.
Well, according to Emojipedia,
yes,
there's a thing called Emojipedia.
Yes.
There's more than just Microsoft still have that they have not converted to the water gun.
Sure. Well, they didn't list those.
Yeah. I mean, they listed
the ones that
according to this now. Of course, Microsoft.
Yeah, right.
According to this, these are ones that do not have a water gun emoji. They have the alternative,
a musket or a
pistol.
Six shooter.
So Microsoft, we've said Google, Facebook, Emoji One. Okay, that was a thing. Emoji Dex, and Messenger, LG, HTC, and Mozilla, which basically leaves Twitter. These are the ones that have a water gun emoji for the pistol. Twitter, WhatsApp, Samsung, and Apple.
Okay.
So this is according to Emojipedia, which take it for what it is.
So basically,
the internet has to be true.
So basically, the update to this, and I'll let Bruce finish. The update to this is basically that now Microsoft, in like less than, well, I don't know about a week, but less than 2 weeks, Microsoft and Facebook have now caved and said, well, we either are changing or we're going to change.
So you that kind of gives some insight into your opinion on this. You think they're caving?
I do, because the reason I'm saying this is that hello world, none of this can hurt you.
So
these are fake.
Sure.
You can't shoot somebody with an emoji.
I agree with that. However,
I knew it.
However, there have been actual court cases where
we talked about
threats.
this.
Yes.
But wait a minute. Okay. All right. Fine.
What's different? What's different than me saying I'm going to shoot you? I'm going to kill you, or I'll write that down. It's a threat.
No, I totally agree with that. But
texting in an emoji.
Yeah, but what's the difference in a water gun? I mean, if you still hate somebody, I understand it's a water gun, but maybe they're going to drown them to death. I don't know. They hate them.
Super Soaker 300.
Yeah, right.
But
no, I agree with the part about threatening somebody, but on the grand scheme of things, we're really not talking about threatening somebody. We're talking about real action where people are really taking guns and shooting other people in mass and otherwise.
Sure.
I mean, this is what this is.
I guess it takes some of the liability off the companies for having that to where they don't even have to be drug into the court case, right?
No, I get that. I mean, I get that from the company standpoint. I just think that...
Why can't you just add a water gun instead of it being a water gun?
Well, here again, I think what I talked with Guru about. I admitted, and Guru and I discussed real quickly about how little we use emojis. So we're probably bad.
You were bad.
We're not.
We're not valid opinions,
right? In a way, because I don't use
emojis.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
you probably do use an emoji every once in a while.
A smiley face,
yeah.
But like. I guess I'm going to say
but
this.
I'm
going to say this
in place of words all the time.
That's correct. I'm going to say this in the result and unfortunately I might get backlash. Yeah. I realize this. I see them. I know I'm going to
stepping on words.
You're right. I see emojis as a more female thing than a man thing. And I know some people are cringing at that. I'm not saying that it's a sissy thing. I'm just saying from my perspective, it's just not something that I think, could I use an emoji there? I just never think that way. But so I guess what I'm saying is, Do you? I just never. It's never a thing for me. I'm not giving it a negative connotation.
No, I get what you're saying.
I see them. It's just
I think
images. I don't see them as having a meaning. I guess they do, but
they do.
But I really don't think of it that way.
No, I understand. I get you. I totally understand.
Okay.
But I think that's probably a good research topic for somebody in psychology.
Man, I suppose.
Or even,
Sure.
or somebody in English is a linguist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I've heard of people.
Papers are writing themselves right now.
I just don't. I know, and some people say, "Well, I was threatened by the gun," and and I get that. I'm not discounting that anybody hasn't been, but I think the point that I'm making, I know the point I'm making is that these are not real.
Oh,
you
yeah,
cannot be physically harmed.
Well, it can't be physically harmed by words, but people can still make threats.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But usually, I don't disagree with that.
I think that's the reason why they're changing it, right? I don't think they're changing it because people are anti-gun, or they would just get rid of the gun completely.
I think it's a mixture. I think they.
I don't think it's politically motivated.
Oh, I do.
I don't.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Your thoughts?
We just
256-782-5600.
Absolutely. But
yeah,
I do think a lot of it is politically motivated.
I don't think it is.
For Twitter, for sure, they've said it was.
That it was politically motivated.
Yes. Well, they haven't changed. Yeah, they changed. Yeah,
they said we're changing this because we don't support gun rights.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure that's their stance. I'm fairly sure. I'm not. I
think you're wrong.
Well, I'm fairly sure they don't. Well, look. I'll tell you, Apple's been changed since 2016.
Yeah.
They were one of the first, I believe.
A green water gun. Okay.
But not all water guns are green.
Well, it's offensive. I might like a yellow one.
I don't like green.
That's
an ugly green.
They'll bring it up at the next International Unicode meeting.
Well, I don't know.
Actually, they do have a lot of weight.
Did you see that in
there.
a reflection that I had that up or something? Is that what you?
No, I really didn't. There's a lot of things that while I'm driving, I think, ooh, need to talk about on the show. But I'm not going to sit there and write something.
I know.
And I've gotten better about saying, okay, Google, take a note. Remind me to do this.
What you should do is record it, and then we could play it on the show. It's like Bruce's thoughts, a little segment of the show. This is what Bruce thought of this week while driving to work.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I think about, but usually I'm trying to solve problems.
If you'll record
clean it up.
If you'll record it, I'll edit it. How about that? If you'll record it,
I heard you the first time.
Yeah.
The first 12 times you said if you'll record it, I heard you.
Yeah, I don't know if Bruce heard me. If you'll record it, Bruce, I'll edit it.
Do I know?
If you'll
See, this is the kind of stuff we have with three people in here.
I'm going to be quiet now.
See, there we go. He never said that with me. I just want you to know that. No, he's dead.
I did not. You're right.
Of course, the reason that is because I needed him to talk.
Yeah, there was a few times, Michael. He was giving me that look like, please keep talking.
I'm out of breath.
Please.
So surely y'all talked about the book face while I was gone.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
mean, I really don't have much to say about that, except we told you so.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much what we covered.
And I was speaking of Jacksonville and that Winn-Dixie will soon be closing and reopening. Right. I frequent that store since it's really one of the only grocery stores in Jacksonville. But one of the cashiers was saying something about Facebook, and I was like, I could go on the whole, data privacy thing, but I was like, no, I'm not going to be that guy today since that's in the news. So I was like, statistically, people that use Facebook are more depressed. And
I know what you're talking about.
And she was just like, well, I don't ever post anything. I just look at other people's
living out other people's lives or looking at what you might could live.
And it was more of like she was looking at and saying all the negative things in people's lives. So she feels better about herself. And I was like, well, man, you've like opened up a whole new set of issues there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to pay for my groceries.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't been on it much. I get on it maybe once a week.
I just because I was like, why in the world do you have a Facebook?
Well, I know.
Why?
I do have one. I have it for several obvious reasons.
And
I started one out when it was brand new.
Sure.
I was one of the. Well, I wasn't one of the first ones, but it was early on.
Yeah.
I remember when Facebook was different. There was not very many ads when I initially first started using Facebook. Very little.
There was probably no ads.
It's all user interaction.
And it was invite only.
It was at one time. Now, it wasn't originally you had to have an edu email address, and that's how I really got into it.
And it was they didn't even have all EDUs. It's only certain universities.
That's correct. That is right. I don't know how. I don't know. Eventually, we got on because it was early on. I don't remember the exact
it was
year.
Very early on.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
but I deleted mine long because
Yeah.
I was like, "This is stupid." Kind of like my Twitter. I was like, "This is stupid." I posted 2 things to Twitter. I was like, "Yeah, this is dumb." Delete.
There you go. Well,
So.
I keep up with people. I got to keep up with people that I wouldn't normally keep up with. I understand that, but
Sorry, my can. Squeeze it and then it lets the air out and pops.
I get it. Yeah, they're
Brought to you by Monster.
Just show.
No, not brought to
Just show. I give up, Guru. You might as well just give up. If
I need like-
anybody gets in trouble, it's going to be Bruce, not me.
Well, I'll also have to invoke the delay
Hey,
up here. And we'll
no,
take
I tell you
7 seconds.
what. Then we'll know who's listening. I mean,
That is
I mean,
true.
you'll finally know for sure.
Monster will be like, can we pay for an advertisement? You can pay for a Patreon spot, but you cannot pay for an advertisement.
A spot.
Patron
Yeah.
announcement.
Spot. Announcement.
announcement.
It's announcement.
So speaking of grocery stores,
Yes.
So this is some news, local news.
Yeah, that's
it's not
true.
new, but it's local
is.
news here. So one of the local major big box retailers are going to offer a new service coming May the 10th, thereabouts.
Brought to you by Walmart.
Yeah. Brought to you by
Walmart's online grocery service. And what it is you'll use I think there's a separate app. We can't get to it yet because it's not available, but there's like a Walmart grocery app, and you basically use that app to order your groceries. And then you have to have a $30 minimum purchase.
Right.
I can do that.
And I think when you start the order, you tell them you have to select the time you're going to pick it up.
I wished I could get out from there for under $30.
Yes, I know,
I would
I know.
trade not using the app.
Yeah. So you pick a time you want to pick up your order.
Right.
And then, so when that time arrives, after you put your stuff in checkout and you give them the time. When that time arrives, they have specially marked parking spots.
Mm-hmm.
You pull up. There's a phone number listed. Said, call this number. You call them, tell them I'm here and I'm in this. This is my name and this whatever this information
Sure.
identify you. I'm in this parking spot number
Man, a black Lamborghini.
and spot number 1. And
There's not a.
but they bring your groceries out to you and put them in your car.
Right.
So you don't even have to go in the store and shop. You just shop on the app.
And Guru speaks
Well,
of
then
this.
And this is coming to the Anniston Walmart, which is just south of Jacksonville,
Right. And
on May the 10th.
None of them
and
will
Saturday I was in the establishment,
Yeah.
and they were training on this, already
Okay.
doing one
Okay.
through. So I got to talk to one of the individuals, and ironically enough,
And he made a recording playing now.
I did not. His name was Brandon,
Okay.
and the other guy that was helping him, his name was Brandon. So it was 2 Brandons.
And then the third person did not want their name disclosed.
No, right. The third person,
Earl.
No, my Daryl and Daryl.
Yeah.
No. Seriously though. So anyway, I did speak to him, and you gave a thorough.
Yes, that's 30,000 foot.
No, you and that's pretty much what they said.
Yeah.
They did say that you would have 4-hour window to pick it up in.
Okay.
From the time of when you said. And Bruce has got to stretch out.
Yeah, my knee's hurting.
Yeah, so is Guru's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're knee brothers.
knee brothers. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it your left knee or right knee?
Is that
Right knee.
anything like
That's right knee.
inebriated? No.
No.
I wouldn't mind that right now. Make this pain go away.
Okay. Well, anyway, so it was very interesting. I talked to the guy, and they had a fairly large cart. It was about 3 or 4 levels high, and it had compartments in each one, and it looked like maybe 6 on a level, and each one had a bag, and then he would have a scanner. And I said, well, I assume the list goes to your scanner. He said, yes. We get the list of what you're wanting to purchase, one customer. We scan every item and put it in the bag, and so once it tells us we're done, we put it in a storage area. Now, if it's cold stuff, we have a place where that's going to go and stay cold, obviously, at the temperature it's supposed to be. He said, now, there will be substitutions allowed. So one thing they were going to do.
No, you can mark if substitutions are allowed.
You can mark. That's what I understand. He said you can mark if substitutions are allowed, and if they are, they will substitute a product. And if that product is more, then you will pay the original price of the product you wanted. That's what he said. Okay. So you wouldn't pay more.
How are they going to keep up with inventory?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's all going to be computerized, but I know they have a lot of that already.
I mean, they'll scan it out of the system and keep up with it. I mean, and like if they substitute, they'll just do a markdown on the one to get it down lower the price. So like if you
doesn't seem very efficient.
So like if you for instance you requested the Great Value brand of soup, whatever.
That's true.
Tomato soup.
I mean, this is really the way it's going to work.
And then they got over there. Oh, we don't have any Great Value tomato soup, but we got Campbell's. You'll get the Campbell's tomato soup, but you'll get it for the. But you'll get it for the price of the Great Value. So the difference in that, they'll just have to take a markdown on it.
Right. And And then he went on. Yeah. And then he went on. I asked him
what about the produce?
Well, I asked him about produce, and he said basically what we're doing is it's whatever we would pick out. He said, obviously, no bad marks, no rotten, Do
you tell them, I need a pound of tomatoes, or I need 3 or 4?
Well, that is a good question. I don't know the answer to that. However, I would assume it's something. Maybe it's a number.
Yeah.
That sparked something else that I couldn't ask the guy because my wife, she was ready to move on.
She's like, we got to go.
Well, and I wanted to go too. I'm tired of being in the store. But anyway, 2 things. Number one, he said it will apply to deli meats too, so you'll be able to order deli meats as well. That's what he told me.
Okay. What about regular meats?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I would assume other packaged products. All packaged product, I would assume, is all grocery. I mean, I don't know. I haven't.
What I read
is
all grocery items, all seafood, meat,
so bakery, it was going to be deli stuff,
and including health and beauty.
Okay.
So if you need, shaving cream or toothpaste,
anything in the store,
shampoo. No,
not anything.
So it's the health and beauty items and the grocery items, stuff you would do on a normal grocery trip.
Butterfingers.
I don't know. I guess
which makes me think.
Yeah,
that's interesting. They've been studying what people are buying. I know they're doing that already.
Oh yeah,
but they've been heavily studying what every big order with food has extra in it.
Well, here's the thing: they've been doing that for years.
I know that,
but with the advent of their little savings, we talked about on the show, savings catcher, where you can scan your receipt, and if a competitor has the item cheaper, you basically get the difference back in the in-store credit. Now they can monitor your purchasing patterns to an individual because you've got that account.
Well, that's true. It's even going to be
more
granular.
So is there any charge to this?
What?
Or is it free?
Oh, the grocery pickup is free.
As far as we know, it's free right now. No extra charge.
There's no extra charge. You just have to have a $30 order. Which
and
I want to meet the person who can buy groceries.
May 9th or 10th.
Oh man, y'all talking over me.
Sorry.
So I was saying. Now it feels awkward. So, what I was saying, I want to meet the person who can get groceries for less than $30.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's what I want to know.
Well,
yeah. Packs of chewing gum.
I did pretty good this last week.
Well, I'm not
sure. When Dixie closed, and
well, that's a different.
Were they selling off all their inventory?
No. Well, see, they're not getting any new shipments of perishable items. So what they had left in the case, I was like, "What do you want for all this?"
Did they say give you a deal on it?
Yeah, I got a pretty good deal. I'm not going to disclose anything.
That's right. He knows people who know people who know people who know people.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure I did today. I was like 58 cents, guys. No, okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, you did. You mentioned it.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm excited about this Walmart grocery pickup, and I know some folks are anti-Walmart. But we do have choices. You can go to other places to get groceries
that are closing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Of course, now this one is
local
is going to open.
Speaking of grocery, we talked about the tornado in the last segment. We lost one of the best places, in my opinion. This is my opinion now, to get fresh meat.
over there near you,
Edwards
Edwards
Grocery.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's one of the best places to get fresh meat anywhere. But they are coming back, from what I understand. So
Bigger and better.
probably maybe so. I don't
But
know.
anyway, also along with that, there is another product that that Walmart is going to be testing and have already been testing.
What's that?
Is the mobile payment where where you're out in an aisle and you, or say
Scan and go.
outside, this is scan and go type product, but you pay right there with the actual unit that they have in their hand.
That's kind of like Apple Store's been doing that for years.
Yes. One downside, I guess, is what I was reading, is that there's no chip. You have to. It's barcode, so it's mag stripe only. They don't support that yet.
Kind of surprised.
They were saying that they're hoping. Go ahead.
I'm kind of surprised though.
Well, I mean,
if there's any kind of fraudulent transaction, I mean, they're going to be held liable not having the chip card. But that's their business.
Well,
There's a lot of places that have the hardware that don't.
I know. We've discussed that on the
I was
show.
actually checking into a hotel, and she was like, "Just put it in backwards 3 times, like, because it wouldn't." I guess they didn't their chip, but it was like it was still requiring the chip. But she's like, "It doesn't work." So put it in the non-chip side 3 times, and then it'll let you swipe. And I was
It's like a bypass or something.
I don't like this. And I was like, you should be able to use the card. It's on file.
Right.
And I like that it's on file with corporate, not with local, because
Yeah.
if you know hotels,
Yeah. Okay.
they will keep that stuff. A
Yeah, I
paper
can
copy somewhere in a
Yeah.
filing cabinet.
I hope not for PCI compliance sake, but
A lot of
anyway.
them do. You'd be
But here's
surprised.
what's crazy though is some of these places won't do the chip card, but they'll do Apple Pay. They'll do the tap, like Apple Pay,
Yeah.
Android Pay,
Yep.
Andrew Wear,
yes.
Andrew Ware.
but they won't do the chip. I don't understand, but they have the hardware, but they'll have a little thing stuck in there like swipe
Yeah.
or chip not enabled. Anyway,
Yeah, we talk about that quite often. But anyway, that's interesting, and maybe you might be interested in doing the
I may try
pickup order, Walmart pickup.
I'm doing it when it first comes out.
Online order.
Excited to try it out.
I wish they'd do it in Jacksonville.
Well, I think from what I understand, they're rolling it out slowly.
Well, just buy non-perishable stuff. Then you can drive home.
No, I mean, it's not that far, Dan. I can buy perishable stuff.
Yeah,
there's times I go to Publix.
My ice cream will melt.
Nah. I've bought ice cream at Publix
What?
and driven home.
Yeah, my ice
I've
cream.
bought stuff here in Jacksonville and drove to where I live near it.
Yeah, my ice cream melts.
And it's a lot further than, oh gosh, ice cream
I
melts.
turn all the seat warmers
Well,
on. The ice cream melts.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart,
I'm
Michael.
just kidding. Good grief! Can't we joke?
Yeah, I'll definitely.
See, Kanye says, "Can't we just be different? Can't we just joke? Come on."
Sure.
Hey, Techies Show. Be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techies show. Sorry, had a off-air discussion. Hope you enjoyed the music. By the way, HeyTechiesShow.com is where you can go see our pretty faces and hear our beautiful voices like the gurus and Bruce.
Not like mine.
And we're on the YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's where you can see it.
YouTube.
Right from HeyTechiesShow.com. Also, 256-782
5600.
and you can be on the Hey Techies Show live. We'll be glad to take your question or discussion. By the way,
go ahead.
By the way,
just
something I noticed. There's a few little headlines that popped up while I was sort of prepping, and one that popped up is an article on 9 to 5 Mac. Apparently, T-Mobile and Sprint, they're saying they're making progress. And they're saying a merger agreement could come as early as next week.
They've been doing this dance for years.
But the thing is, I don't think this will pass the regulatory approval.
I think it will.
Oh, you think it will?
Yeah.
We'll see. One of us will be right.
But
That's true.
The two things I want to talk about, just say quickly.
In
case you didn't know, this little article here explains that T-Mobile has a parent company of Deutsche Telekom.
Yeah.
And they own 63% of T-Mobile, while Sprint's parent company is SoftBank, and they own 84%, 0.7.
I did not know that.
Well, that's
I
what
didn't
it
know
says.
that either.
That's what it says.
Here's a little bit of tidbit of useless knowledge. Is before T-Mobile, what was prevalent here in the South? That was
Next
PowerTel.
PowerTel. That's right.
Yeah, my first cell phone was a PowerTel.
Yeah, okay.
phone.
Mine was Singular.
Singular.
Singular was great.
I knew it before it was Singular. It was like AT&T Mobility.
No. Singular was separate from AT&T.
It was Bell South Mobility. Then it became Singular. Yeah. I had a Singular.
Singular was their own thing. Then they merged.
Oh.
That's correct.
Okay.
With Bell South and AT&T.
I had a Singular phone.
I had a Singular phone.
Yeah.
The Orange Man.
That's right. So this is kind of related to the.
It's like it got rid of them.
It's related to the. Like it's like stuck to the windshield or something.
Yeah.
So I saw this in your little stack of news, Michael, about Amazon will now deliver packages to the truck.
Yes.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
So it's kind of related to the Walmart pickup.
But it's only select vehicles. It's Chevy and Volvo.
That
right?
is correct. And one of the main, go ahead, Guru, but I want to make sure we add one of the main reasons for that. Part of it is the OnStar.
OnStar.
They have to have that, and it's 2015 and
because somebody's got to be able to unlock the car remotely.
Yeah. So basically,
right.
Amazon announced this article was on the 24th, so like 2 days ago, I guess. Yeah, day's 26th. That they're a new service that gives their couriers access to a person's vehicle for the purpose of leaving package deliveries inside. But rather than use smart locks and a cloud-connected camera to gain entry, Amazon wants to use the connected technologies embedded in the many modern vehicles, i.e. OnStar, on the GM side. The company's launched a new service, partnership with General Motors and Volvo, and rolling out to 37 cities in the U.S. starting today.
So
there's a little video here. Amazon Key in Car. Huh.
We talked about the key thing at your home, though.
Let's see.
We you know,
Should I play
the
this
smart
on
lock.
Oh, yeah. So
Amazon Key.
First time.
What?
I just got a notification from Amazon that my package was delivered inside of my truck. So
no rehearsal.
I'm gonna walk
no
out
rehearsal.
Check it out.
The new Amazon Key in-car app, where Amazon will deliver packages to the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
It's new.
Yeah, so there's a video in there. It's in person opens the trunk of their car and there's an Amazon box.
So this is the thing. I don't think they can specifically unlock just the trunk. I think when they unlock the vehicle, they unlock the vehicle.
That's what I was thinking.
But the thing is, like, if it's a hatchback,
exactly.
Now, if it's a trunk, like a sedan, depending on the car, you may not be able to gain entry to the passenger cabin. But if it's like a hatchback or a truck, you're in. I sure hope they vetted these couriers very well.
Well,
I mean, I just
I can understand for some people
go ahead,
apartment complexes or something like. But if you live in an apartment complex, you should expect more out of your apartment complex and say y'all should have a place where you centrally receive large packages like this that tenants can come by and pick up.
I suppose
a lot of them do. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but it's.
No, I take that. I did live in an apartment once, but they just put it on my front porch.
Sure.
That I guess anybody could have got, but nobody touched it. And I had
This just gives
different
me,
time.
This is my personal opinion
Sure.
on this. This
I
gives
guess
me
it was.
This gives me a very uneasy feeling. Just like the thing last year Amazon announced where they could unlock your front door to put a package
People
in there.
hacked it within 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
Or
just
2 days. It was 2 days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just feel very uneasy about this. But I understand the.
I understand the need.
Yeah, I can see a need. You're gonna have to prove it to me.
Sure.
First, for a while.
Well,
a long while.
Well, I think Prime members are going to actually pay for this service.
Oh yeah, they're going up.
Yeah, $20.
Is it 20 or no?
It's
it is $20.
$20 a year.
I'm glad I just paid mine.
$99 to $119, and it actually starting in May. But if you're a current subscriber, it goes up. It goes up in June.
Where do you check to see?
I don't know. Somewhere on Amazon.com.
Yeah. And by the way,
go to Amazon.com.
Just to add to this,
ask Alexa.
Just to add to this, to
Yeah.
what Guru was talking about, if we didn't mention it, the service that we were discussing is only for Prime members, and it's only in certain areas right now.
It's like it said 37 cities
Right.
in the article.
Ooh.
So probably not Jacksonville,
So,
Alabama.
Well, no.
Apparently, mine renews in January. So it's already been renewed. But I'm going to take a screenshot of this because it says on January 7th of 2019, you'll be charged $99 for Prime.
Oh.
So I'm going to say, no. You told me on April 26th that I'd only be charged $99.
Well, anyway.
And there is no caveat under that.
I know Amazon has also had in the past, they probably still do, like I've seen it one time when I traveled at like a convenience store. They had these little lockers outside the convenience store.
Print screen.
Where you could, I guess you'd have packages delivered to that little lock box, I guess you call it, and then you could pick it up somehow.
Yeah.
I just happened to see it like at a 7-Eleven when I was traveling a while back. But anyway.
Also, Amazon has scored another 2 years of Thursday night football. NFL, by the way, in case you're interested. Do you know, I think they said last year's value was at $50 million.
They paid $50 million
to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. That's chump change for the NFL.
That's a lot of money. It is for the NFL, yes. It is.
And it's chump change for Amazon because according to a recent that they beat expectations earlier this week. They posted a $51 billion revenue.
Who?
Amazon.
$51 billion?
$51 billion revenue.
For, like, is that quarter, fiscal year?
Posted, it doesn't, let's
I wonder what their net income is, though.
I don't know.
I mean,
I didn't break it down. It's
okay.
Just kind of giving it.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway.
Somewhere between
just 51. Yeah, yeah.
Here's another real quick
a lot
one.
and wow.
Yeah.
Bing.
So we got about 4 minutes till the news break, but this is real quick. So this was an article I found. New survey says Amazon and Google have a more quote positive impact on society end quote than Apple.
What?
So a new survey conducted by SurveyMonkey and shared by Recode, 11% of respondents said that they believe Apple has the most positive impact on society today. Apple came in third place, however, falling in line behind Google at 15% and Amazon had the top spot at 20%. Survey respondents were given the option of choosing between a number of technology companies between April 8th and 9th, and it totaled 2,772 adults in the United States. This is probably very unscientific, SurveyMonkey. I mean, it's not, I don't know if you can, but anyway. So which of the following companies had the most positive impact on society today? And Amazon had the top spot, and like Lyft was at 1% at the bottom, but it shared bottom with Snap and Twitter. What's Snap? Anyway.
Snap. 2 snaps
Snapchat.
up.
It's just a Snap. It don't say Snapchat.
Yeah, what is, I mean,
Tesla 6%. So it's Amazon, then Google, then Apple, like the article said, then Microsoft. No, excuse me. Then Facebook. Then
my gosh.
Facebook was behind Apple, then Microsoft, then Tesla. Tesla was after Microsoft. Then Uber.
Yeah, Snap Inc. is.
Then Netflix, and then rounding out the bottom
and
3 at 1% each was Twitter, Snap, and Lyft.
Let me ask you a question. I can understand Twitter. How do you feel if you're Microsoft if you're one under Facebook? I mean, think about how long you've been in business. And
yeah,
I mean, seriously now, think about that. Forget the rest of the article.
It's Windows 8.
Yeah, Microsoft is one step under Facebook on this poll.
This was done April 8th through 9th, so it was pre Zuck going to testify in front of Congress.
Pre-Zuck.
So they could have
been swayed, huh?
Yes.
Well, they're so swayable on Facebook anyway.
That's right.
So,
That's
I mean,
right.
come on. But I mean, wow.
The survey also dived into the CEOs of the companies and asked respondents which leaders had the greatest impact on people's daily lives. Amazon came in first place again, with 22% saying CEO Jeff Bezos and his decisions impact them in some way each day. Google's Sundar Pichai, I mispronounced.
No, that's right.
Came in second at 18%, and Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg came in third at 17%. Again, this was pre the testifying in front of Congress. So
17%.
17%. Zuck was number 3 on this in terms of CEOs.
I would say
Pichai was where?
Number 2.
Well, see, this poll's backwards. Then
But again,
they considered the CEOs swapped, but the companies
it
swapped.
was a separate question that they asked the people
I
what
get
CEO
the company as a whole.
I got it.
And
I
then
understand
the CEO
question.
this
person.
I understand it, but look at how they look at them. That's interesting.
But I think this is very
I get what you're
unscientific. I don't think this is a.
No, of course not. But we know.
I don't know.
that,
That's
but
my
we just-
opinion. But anyway.
Well, I get that. I mean, you know.
So.
That's it. That's still interesting, the way people think when they answer those polls. And, of course, you know, it may be just people just answering for the heck of it.
Click.
Yeah, right.
Move it on.
Yeah. Huh. So they in retrospect, they sort of like
Amazon at the top on both CEO and company.
Well, I can understand Bezos.
And Microsoft is below Facebook.
He's the anti-Trump, so I can understand why he would be at the top of that list, especially for millennials.
Who's the
Bezos?
He's the anti-Trump.
Oh yes.
I thought
gosh. Yeah.
Nobody was more anti-Trump than Trump.
I guess you could look at it that way. Hey, Techies Show, our
dose
coming up next.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Speer. A jury has convicted comedian Bill Cosby of all 3 sexual assault charges he faced. The 80-year-old could spend the rest of his life in prison. Bobby Allen of member station WHYY reports the case was seen as the first celebrity trial in the Me Too era.
When the verdict of guilty on all 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault was read, Cosby didn't blink. He stared straight ahead. Cosby's main accuser, Andrea Constant, didn't react much either, but a high-pitched cry rang out across the packed courtroom. It was Cosby accuser Lily Bernard, so overcome with emotion she had to be escorted out of the courtroom. After the judge let Cosby remain free on $1 million bond until his sentencing date, Bernard said the verdict delivered collective justice.
This jury has shown what the Me Too movement has said is that women are worthy of being believed. And I thank the jury.
Cosby's defense team said, quote, "The fight is not over," and vowed to appeal. For NPR News, I'm Bobby Allen in Norristown.
EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt was grilled for more than 5 hours today in back-to-back congressional hearings. NPR Scott Horsley reports Pruitt is under the microscope for a series of ethical missteps.
Pruitt has drawn scrutiny for giving big pay raises to staffers over the objection of the White House, employing a costly 24-hour security detail and a sweetheart housing arrangement in a condo owned by the wife of a lobbyist. Pruitt dismissed the allegations as half-truths and distortions, but Democratic lawmakers like John Sarbanes of Maryland kept the EPA chief on the defensive.
You've become the poster child for the abuse of public trust.
Some Republicans, especially those representing big fossil fuel states, defended Pruitt, saying critics are just trying to stop the EPA from rolling back Obama-era climate regulations. A few Republicans from swing districts joined the attacks on Pruitt and his free spending ways. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
President Trump today said his personal attorney Michael Cohen represents him in this crazy Stormy Daniels deal, going on to tell the show Fox and Friends that from what I see, he did absolutely nothing wrong. Trump spoke by phone to the Fox host, saying that, as he has in the past, he has no knowledge of a $130,000 payment Cohen made to the porn actress, supposedly in exchange for her silence about an affair she claims to have had with Trump. Cohen this week said he'll assert his constitutional right against self-incrimination in the case brought by Daniels, who's seeking to invalidate a confidentiality agreement. Teachers in Arizona taking a page from the playbook of some other recent actions as demonstrators started to stream out of the Capitol on the first day of a statewide walkout. Heat in the mid-90s sent some educators and supporters home, where their message was delivered. In addition to a 20% pay raise, they want more money for school spending. Stocks gained ground today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 238 points. This is NPR.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies show. Our
dose.
Oh,
Bruce missed it. Bruce missed it.
To that 100 million customers. That's
hey, there you go. No, actually, we added that up. Yeah, so eventually it'll be $20 extra a year. So 119 times 100 million.
That's a lot.
That's a little bit of change. Old Amazon racking it up. I mean, and that's before you buy anything, by the way. I know you get some features with it.
I definitely feel like I get that.
I understand that, and I'm not saying you don't. I
definitely feel like I do.
Oh.
Speaking, because for some reason that makes me think of Roku, which makes me think of the TCL TVs. They've released their
the what?
TCL.
Okay.
TVs. We talked about them.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They're the next up and coming Vizio,
right? Correct.
Which I'll say, I was in a big box store and they had a Vizio 4K TV displayed. And I was kind of impressed.
I like Vizio. That's my go-to brand.
Yeah, I was just, in the past, long time ago, Samsung used to be my brand.
Okay.
And I always buy the replacement plans on that stuff. And I had to use them quite often with Samsung. So I was like, I think I'm going to give somebody else a chance. And I went to Sony. And I'll probably never break that Sony. But it, to me, is not the image quality isn't as good as Samsung. But I'll say, man, when I was looking at Vizio, and I guess it's their higher end series.
Yeah, well,
and
it's 4K.
But I was like, man, this thing's so inexpensive. I was like, this is like a 65-inch 4K TV for $1,000.
TCL TV, what's it going to have built in?
So okay, it's their 4K, which they already had already had like a 4K. You know, it was like 55-inch for like $500 or $600.
Right.
Well, now they've got a more premium one.
Okay.
That's coming out. I guess it's already out, and it's like $600 for a 65-inch or something like that.
Oh,
I mean, it's insane.
You had mentioned Roku, and I thought you were going to tell me how.
It has Roku built in.
Oh, that's where I thought
it's basically a Roku TV.
Okay, so it's a 4K with Roku built in.
Yeah, let me actually look this up. So I can tell you, because I think it's their.
I mean, we've discussed this TV before. I remember it well.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, $900.
Because it seems like you discussed this TV before, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody bought one, and you went and saw it, and you were amazed at the quality, and then he was explaining how it was inexpensive or a lot less money than you would normally pay.
And I think they may got it on Woot, which is
right. Yeah.
But
which is an Amazon.
Yeah, but
is Woot Amazon?
Yes, it's owned by Amazon.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't everything?
Well, I realized
that Walmart.
As an aside, like my Blink cameras that I've swear by, they're now an Amazon company.
Yeah,
because when there was an app update when I launched, said Blink and Amazon comes like, oh, really?
So yeah, you can get their 6 series, which I'm going to go through all this. Which I will. Full disclosure here, I have seen negative reviews on Amazon.
Sure,
people showing pictures. But I think it was one of those, for every 10 good ones you get a bad one kind of thing. It's just part of manufacturing, right? For every so many feet of
right.
The screens they make, they get some that just aren't as good quality. So there's that. But I mean, it's probably a Chinese company, and they're probably getting so much data.
Yeah,
that's going back.
Oh, sure.
So just set up your router and stuff to block all that. But anyways, your
yeah,
firewall.
just do that. Just do that.
Exactly. Just do that.
Just do that on the weekend.
On the weekend, or just whatever. But
55-inch 4K,
55-inch
for $400. Wow.
Well, that's their 5 series. Their 6 series, so they're
so
like
what's the difference?
Top of the line. I don't know. That's what I'm looking at. Give me a second.
Okay, sorry.
But $650 for a 55-inch,
32-inch, 720p. Which I mean, it's 32-inch. $159. $159.
Yeah. And if I would say if you are a Roku fan, this is definitely a TV to look at.
Right.
I prefer. I've gotten to where I'm like, man, Roku does this right. I really like Roku.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not saying they'll always be the best.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
And I'm not saying they'll be the best for you. It fits me. The only thing that I think they could get better, because you can have I think you have to have a Roku account. If they would just tie all your login information for all the apps, so whenever you got a new one, just boom.
It's new technology. It's called single sign-on.
Yeah, that's right.
Apple
started it, and they
right.
did that for the Apple TV, and single sign-on is just so much better. Yeah,
game changer. Game changer.
Apple invented single sign-on.
They did. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Just like they invented facial recognition.
Sure. They made it better.
Sure,
they made it better.
Which they're going to probably get rid of in the next version of their phone and bring back the headphone jack.
No, they're not bringing
the
back
headphone jack. Won't come back.
I don't think so.
There has been leaked pictures.
Yeah,
we talked about well, I think the leaking's going to get less now because a memo leaked saying not to leak stuff.
That's right. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah. Wink.
Oh,
wink.
Yeah. Real quickly though, now that you bring that up,
yeah.
In my opinion, humble opinion, I must say, the only reason I can see that the audio jack will come back is because they'll say others copied them and they are going back.
Yeah. We're being extra brave.
That's right. We're being extra brave. Others, we decided.
Watch how many will follow.
I'm just kidding.
Watch how many will follow.
They don't want to do the same thing Google's doing. I don't know.
What did they do? Oh,
yeah.
I was like, what did they do?
I mean, that's the same thing. I mean, I have to have a dongle to listen to it on my phone. Except if I don't, then I can't.
We heard you, and we're being brave. We're bringing it back.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they'll do, but I'm saying on record here, I do not believe they're going to go backwards with that. They're going to continue to go forwards. I don't believe that. But
so
I could be wrong.
Looking at their little chart on the difference between the 5 series and 6 series, the only difference is the contrast control zones. The 65-inch has 120 zones, but they don't show any on the 5 series and down. So I don't know what those contrast control zones are. Not kept up with TVs enough to know what that is.
What now?
Contrast control zones. There's 120 zones on the 65-inch.
Contrast
control zones.
Let's see. I'm Googling it.
Oh, here we go.
The screen is. It's a TCL review. TCL P series review. That's the first thing that comes up.
What is this new thing that they have invented? It was just like with contrast. I mean, everybody was like, oh, it's dynamic contrast, and it's 1,000,000 to 1, and it's 10,000,000 to 1.
Right.
I was making up numbers.
I know.
Now.
I always wondered if they were just making up numbers, because how would you?
Gazillion.
If it was that, and it is a big deal.
Viper 9000.
Well, one. That's right.
Down to your block.
Yeah,
that's what they could do.
Correct.
Down
we can see the blades of grass on your yard.
That one's getting hit by rain right there. That blade.
Yes.
You need to change your underwear. We're pretty sure we saw that same tag yesterday.
Now I forgot what I was going to talk about. I mean, who can go after that?
Contrast ratio.
Yeah,
contrast.
Well, one major thing, and I guess maybe the only thing that's big is your blacks or blacker.
Yeah,
depending on
and see that was some of the negative reviews that they were like, man, if you put just straight up black on the screen, you see all this light.
Right.
They've probably gotten a lot better.
Of course, that is the huge thing about OLEDs because black is nothing. There is no projection on black. It's just no color, which is another reason why Mr. Michael here has a black background on his phone because it's an OLED and it reduces on battery.
Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
Yep. I mean, I don't ever look at the background of my phone. So what?
Yeah, I do. I've actually got nothing on my home screen, so I can see my background.
Well, now I have the say it's not a screensaver, but I guess it is. What's the one that the home screen? But it's not.
You got the After Dark screensaver?
No,
with the flying toasters.
No, I don't. No. I have a picture on that, like the lock screen. Lock screen.
I
have a
home
picture.
screen, like I've got.
Yeah, I lock screen. I have that, but my background. I've been trying. Somebody mentioned it one day, and I said, I really never thought about that, but. So I've been using it.
I got a pretty picture on,
and I think it actually is saving battery. I can't.
It probably is
because all the pixels are off except for the ones that
show the time and slide
and all the
lock.
icons, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, Bruce power tip.
What now?
No, not Bruce.
Michael's power tip of
I'm trying to give Bruce your credit for your tip.
Well, that's fine. I can understand why you would.
Michael's power tip
of the millennium, because it's probably the only one I'll ever have.
No, this week.
No,
that's really good though. So especially if you're
if it's only for OLED, I mean you're not going to get the
right.
If it's backlit, it's not going to help.
And if your battery's long in the tooth,
right,
that'll help extend the life.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Now I don't have any scientific method, but it makes sense.
Your mileage may vary.
If it's an OLED screen,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know if my phone has an OLED.
Yeah, it does. Don't you have the latest?
Yeah, I have the 8.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Manufactured by Samsung.
Yeah,
probably so.
That is true. No, that is true. I'm pretty sure the 8 has an OLED screen.
Of course, Apple calls it Retina HD. Super duper Doppler Woppler.
No, didn't they buy?
No, the 10 has an OLED.
That's it.
Yeah,
the 10 has an OLED.
This is an LCD.
That's it. Liquid crystal, yeah. Which is still good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Retina HD.
Well, anyway.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got to take a break.
Yeah, because I'm lost in reading about stuff.
Of course you are. TVs that we weren't going to cover.
Pretty much.
Hey, Techies Show. Be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show.
Yeah, little Cutlass to bring us back in.
Apparently, TCL has a C8 series. I don't know what this is. It looks like.
Bruce is still on this TV.
It's a C8 series. You got to buy it.
It's C8.
Right.
That's got to be
C8.
the one. As long as it's got Roku.
Well, let's change topics, shall we? While Bruce is engrossed looking at television.
Yeah, we've lost him for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
He hung around for most of a show.
I can't stay the whole time, guys.
Clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
Bruce, Earth to Bruce. Techie Show to Bruce. Hey, Techie Show to Bruce.
I guess we just need to start having a SpaceX segment every week.
Well, sure.
I need to find
Why
some
not?
bumper music, like, you know.
Yeah.
The only thing I have is this jet engine, but it's just. But anyway.
Yeah. You're right. Anyway, SpaceX.
So,
going to Mars.
Be watching May the 7th, which is we still got a week or so, but a week from Monday, they're planning another launch.
Yeah, that's the 3rd anniversary of the Hey Techie Show.
Yeah, that's right. Good day.
Where are they going?
Mars.
They're launching from Cape Canaveral, 39A launch pad. They're launching a satellite for the Bangladesh government.
Uranus.
No, it's going through a geostationary transfer orbit, by the way.
I got a story about that.
Anyway, but that's not my story. That was just
I got one that's going to go along with
What's
this.
your story, Morning Glory?
So
go ahead.
So this is from Ars Technica. Russia appears to have surrendered to SpaceX in the global launch market. It's not really news, but let me just read a little bit of this.
Collusion.
So back in as recently as 2013, Russia, according to this article, controlled about half of the global commercial launch industry with its fleet of rockets. I mean, they're still taking, American astronauts to the space station for now, which that's about to change. But in the past, Russian officials had talked tough about competing with SpaceX, providing low-cost, reliable service to, low Earth and geostationary orbit. But on Tuesday of this past week, Russia's chief spaceflight official, Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Rogozin, my Russian's not really good, made a remarkable comment about that country's competition with SpaceX. And this is the quote. The share of launch vehicles is as small as 4% of the overall market of space services, he said in an interview. And he continues on by saying, the 4% stake isn't worth the effort to try to elbow Musk and China aside. Payloads manufacturing is where good money can be made. And there's some independent analysis that says that the global launch market is worth about $5.5 billion annually. And apparently, according to this, they said they're losing. They've lost half their share of losing its half share of this market. Has probably cost Russia about $2 billion, which is a significant fraction of the non-military aerospace budget. So, I mean, Russia's taking on the chin big time. I mean, from a money standpoint, because, I mean, they're not doing this for free. When they launch stuff up into space for people, I mean, they're like, write us a check.
Yeah.
And we'll handle it.
Yeah. Well, SpaceX is going to be the way to go. That's for sure.
I agree.
They're making their name not only across the United States, but across the world. And in doing so, every time they send up a rocket successfully and then back down with great success, their stock in people's eyes goes up and up. No doubt about it.
But SpaceX is a private company.
I understand that. But I'm talking about the stock in people's eyes.
Oh.
The way they think about SpaceX.
Right. So this article also said that this year the Russian government only has about 10% of the commercial satellite launch market, compared to as much as 50% for SpaceX.
Well, I mean, but it's not a big surprise.
Well, it's not a surprise, but just the fact that they're actually coming out and basically saying, "Yeah, we're giving that up. It's not worth our trouble to try to get that back." Like Elon, you just go have fun. We're whatever.
Okay. Well, is that all the SpaceX news for right now?
Yeah, for right now.
That was it. Well, I've got a related article to go along with this, along with space. There has been a discovery, a big discovery, by the way. This is from Gizmodo. It has been confirmed, okay, that Uranus smells like farts.
Uh-oh.
It's breaking news.
Breaking news.
Look, I'm just telling you, that's what they said.
We heard it here first,
breaking.
folks.
Yeah.
Wind
breaking news, yes. Wind breaking news, yes. Apparently, now, of course, here's the problem. We believe that's what it is. No one's actually sniffed.
No one pulled up and rolled the window down.
You're right. When they went by Uranus. I mean, there was no one on the Voyager that went by it many years ago.
But that was their best guess.
But that's their best guess because it says that the molecule in the planet's deep atmosphere is hydrogen sulfide. So they're making an assumption that because of that, it probably has that kind of smell. However, if someone attempted to go, ironically, it would take a long way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, they would die on impact to even get because they couldn't. I mean, there's it's not possible.
There's not an atmosphere that we can sustain our life.
So this is pointless. Another pointless article of a place we will not visit.
Well, Elon Musk may get there one day.
I don't think anybody's going to want to go there. Uranus? That's really a far way out. By the way, speaking of that, I watched a special on Voyager. The whole Voyager project. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend it.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to watch that.
It is very interesting. It's a little over an hour.
Okay.
I learned a lot of things on it. And I knew that this happened back in, let's see, so I think it was back in 90. That can't be right. Yeah, I guess it's been back in 90, somewhere in there. There was a snapshot taken as one of the Voyagers was leaving sort of the last atmosphere of the planet, the last planet they were going to look at. Okay?
Yeah.
They weren't going to hit up Pluto. But anyway, long story short, what's interesting to me about this is the backstory that I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen the pale blue dot. It's the pale blue dot image. It's got the Earth in a sunbeam. It's a little bitty dot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Originally, these pictures were never going to be taken. But Carl Sagan, who's dead now, he was on the team, the Voyager team. He's part of the team. He begged them to turn the Voyager around and take pictures back towards our solar system. Well, at the time, the imaging, the JPL, the imaging that was over this whole thing, none of them wanted to do it. They said, Carl, there's no scientific data to gain here. You're not going to be close enough to any planet. It's just going to be like taking pictures from the Earth, basically, of stars. That's what it's going to look like, just dots.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Do it anyways.
Carl said,
right.
Well, he went up the brass. He went all the way to the top. And he got it to where they would turn it around, and they took 60 pictures. And one of them was taken, when they took it, it just like dust part. Actually, they discounted what was in it. And then after they got to looking closer, it was the only planet that they took pictures of that was in the sun's rays.
Oh, wow.
And it was right in the middle of those rays.
Okay. That's
cool.
And
it's called the pale blue dot.
The pale blue dot.
And he used that in a book that he wrote later on. Carl did. Of course, Carl was an atheist and didn't believe in God.
Yeah.
And a lot of other things.
It kind of reminds me of one of the pictures taken by the Apollo astronauts of Earth.
Yeah.
From, I don't know if they were on the moon. Maybe they were on the surface, but it was back in like that blue marble look.
Yeah.
That picture is very famous.
Yeah.
I forget what they call it. But
what I wanted to tell you.
a lot further distance.
What obviously. I wanted to tell you about. This is a hard number for me to understand, admittedly. Now, this is the number they gave.
Okay.
I've looked it up. That picture was taken at 4 billion miles away from the Earth.
With a B. Billion
with a B.
It's a long way.
It's a long way.
Yeah. That's a lot. It's hard for me to conceive of that, really.
And that was in the 90s when they did that?
Yes. It's called the Pale Blue Dot.
And see, Voyager 1 was launched in
77.
77.
But actually, I think Voyager 2 was launched before Voyager 1.
Oh, was it?
I think that's right. It's what I understood in the I got to go back and watch part of that.
Yeah, this stuff really fascinates me. I'm looking at the Wikipedia article about Voyager, the mission.
But anyway, that I enjoyed the actual program because they interviewed a lot of the people that were actually on the project, and they were looking back at at what they experienced and a lot of interesting. When the whole project was done, okay, and they had gone past their last planet, okay, Chuck Berry was there for the party. He played at the party they threw.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah, the guitarist.
Oh, yeah.
And singer. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. They showed video of that. And it was just interesting. But and most people may not know this, but I'm going to wrap up with this.
Well, I want to tag on to it. Go ahead.
But most people don't know this, but those 2 satellites are still going. Matter of fact, one of them is outside into the I almost said stratosphere. That's not what it's called.
It's beyond stratosphere.
No, I know it's
a little bit.
No, I know it's not.
It's in the space. It's
interstellar space.
Interstellar.
The other one is close to being into interstellar space. They believe,
right?
And they do get signals occasionally back from both of them. By the way, so that. And at one time, they actually thought they were going to totally lose contact with them. At one time, the limb froze up on one of them after passing Saturn, and they didn't think they would be able to get it back, but they were able to work. It's really interesting. If I'll think of it in the break, I might remember the name of the. Oh, I don't remember the name of it, but it's about Voyager, and you can look it up on Netflix, and it's really good.
I'm gonna go look that up.
It's
tonight.
a very good documentary.
So, in case you weren't aware, there's also something on both of these Voyager probes called the Golden Record.
Yes. That's
fascinating to me. They basically it's a gold record, but they recorded different things on it. It carries photos of Earth and its life forms, a range of scientific information, spoken greetings from people such as Secretary General of the United Nations and the President of the United States, and a medley called Sounds of Earth, which includes sounds of whales, baby crying, other sounds. But then it also includes music from Mozart, Willie Johnson, Chuck Berry, and others. And it gives instructions on how to play it. Basically, they got like pictograms.
Yeah, that's
on it.
correct.
So if some other extraterrestrial being comes across this probe, they can learn more about us.
Speaking of that, speaking of that, they said, Bruce, now listen to this. They said that these 2, Voyager 1 and 2, will never hit anything else again. They don't believe that it will never come close enough to hit anything or ever basically take a good picture of anything that they know of.
Yeah,
especially in anybody's lifetime.
It's amazing how accurate their calculations were and their foresight.
Well, watching.
I mean, it's not they're like, let's get this thing up there. Let's see what it sees.
This was the first one
for all this
that they could wipe it,
and
redo the software on the fly. That's what they had to do many times because when they were trying to get out of atmospheres or around atmospheres, they had to recalculate and hope that their calculations worked. Otherwise, it was going to go into the planet and that was it, or even close to a moon. Anyway, but it is fascinating.
Amazing piece of engineering.
Yes, in the 70s.
Yes.
It was launched in the 70s. I'm trying to figure out when it was actually they started working on it. I bet
it was before then.
It was probably, I would say, late 60s. They actually started designing it.
Yeah, I think they talk about
You're thinking 1960s technology.
It's when you got a lot of bang for your buck from NASA.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah. It's like the Apollo program. I mean, what they pulled off, I mean, no one has done that since. No one.
Oh, by the way, they cover a section when the Challenger blew up. And they cover a section of there where they were getting some amazing data back in on the same day that the Challenger blew up. But it was such a dark day in NASA. Where everybody usually was to meet about all these amazing data, they were gone. So it was an empty JPL.
So it was like a
right. I mean, there was nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, things like that is
that stuff you just that's not out there public knowledge. That I mean,
right.
Even later on when they tried to release the press, everybody was so engrossed for so long about the Challenger disaster and the investigation. It was kind of like, just nothing to see here, but yet there was something to see here.
Right.
Man. Anyway, the Voyager stuff fascinates me.
Sure. Yeah.
So, thank you for sharing that.
Now, Bruce, I had a little stockpile here, and I say that because it's used in one of these articles.
Okay.
I had a little.
So you're hoarding.
Yes, I had a little article stockpiling going over here, mostly about phones or connections to any kind of. But I caught a couple of articles. I'm not going to be able to cover all of it like I want to, so I'm going to try to hit up a couple of quick ones. But if we get to talking too much, did you see where a cops supposedly? Well, no, I think it's not supposedly. They used a dead man's finger.
Did hear about that. They were
in an
trying
attempt to unlock his phone at the funeral home.
At the funeral home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah, they went to the funeral home.
Oh, my gosh. Really?
But didn't the funeral home deny them?
No, I think they ended up having to do it.
Okay.
It happened. Yeah. But here's the thing. Now,
sorry you didn't pay for that service.
Well, and I think we've discussed this on the show before.
Yeah.
It's been proven in law, and courts have upheld it, that your finger is something that you can be made to give up to unlock your device.
However,
here we go. Go ahead.
Well, no.
However,
you don't have to tell them which finger it is.
Well, that's true. Well, I could try all of them, I guess.
And I think once, at least on Apple devices, once you miss it so many times,
then you have to put in the passcode. You have to.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point.
Say, sure. Sorry.
That darn Touch ID is not working tonight.
I don't know. It's not working.
Yeah,
too many attempts.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, mine but after so long it says your passcode is required.
When you're dead, it's kind of hard to do that.
Well,
however, I
wonder how many it is.
However, listen, their attempt was unsuccessful because there was no life in the finger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I had a thought. Okay, just hold on here.
Go. I'm listening. Go ahead. Bruce is not.
Had a thought on this. A couple of thoughts. What if it was facial recognition? So do they have to get two people over here to hold your eyes open? This dead body. When I know it won't, but I'm just going for the. I mean, it's almost like a.
Well, the fingers holding it up would mess with the facial recognition.
Use some clear tape.
Hold his eye. Hey, no, it ain't quite. I mean, I can only imagine.
I don't know
how that would work, but I understand that that's supposed to. You're supposed to be able to have to. It's supposed to have to be able to identify that you're alive. In the actual.
I think that was some good foresight.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Well, part of it's so somebody can't cut your digit off, right?
Right. Yeah, that would be the main thing I would hope. But actually, as they say in the article, and it's just don't have enough time to cover the whole thing. But as they say in the article, that most all of the decisions that have been made as far as in the courts have favored the living people over dead people. So most dead people don't have many rights when they're looking at it from the court standpoint of view. Because you cannot claim your Fourth Amendment right when you're dead. It's impossible.
I say use your nose.
Yeah. Okay. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
How would
we tried all his fingers? It's not working.
I don't think you can have a nose.
You absolutely can.
How can you use your nose? Well, it will not work. Will it really? No.
I'm going to add it real quick.
No,
As a fingerprint.
you're pulling our leg. 256-782-5600. He's pulling my leg. He's pulling my nose. I don't believe your nose is going to open your phone. You're going to be secretly doing something to it, I'm sure. Anyway, I got that. And then here's another one, Guru. You're going to like this.
Oh, really? You think I will?
I think you might.
I don't know. Let's see.
Headline: Penn State's 90-year-old outing club is no longer allowed to go outside.
An outing club, like it's meant to like go outside.
Right.
They can't go outside.
Right.
Why?
That
kind of defeats the purpose of the
I know
outing
it's not
club.
working. I mean, it's
vibrating.
Yeah, it's to give you. Now it's telling you something. What's it say?
You messed up.
What did it say?
It's an enrollment not complete.
Yeah, see, it's not going to do it. It's got to have a
Hold on.
fingerprint. Oh, here we go. Live on the air.
Lifton.
What are you doing now?
I'm
This is
pushing
radio
my nose.
gold. This is radio gold, folks.
Yeah,
I may have to take off
on
this
YouTube.
case.
He's really trying it. So if you want to see,
But yeah, tell me about this. Tell me about this outdoor club that can't go outdoors, or outing club.
the student outing club, which has gone backpacking, kayaking, and hiking in state parks over the course of 98-year existence, will no longer be allowed to host outdoor events after administrators conduct a risk assessment. Now, what you might think is the risk here is very interesting, that is probably not what you're thinking about. The risk is that, according to the university, cell service is spotty at best.
Oh my goodness!
In outing,
really,
and according, it's not an acceptable risk. I'm just telling you what they decided. Yeah. So
I can't Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter.
Well, they can't. They might not can get somebody there in an emergency. However,
I think it's what I'm thinking. I can't live stream this.
Well, no. I mean, they're going on these things because you can't do any of that. It's an outdoor club. Yes, I'm quite serious. This is really true. And the people who are the organizers of the club, or the current organizers, obviously they're not 98 years old, but the current organizers of the club say they've never had an incident. Not anything
in
major
98 years.
in like 98 years that they could point to that would say it's a risk. I mean, it's anyway, but there's not enough cell service, and that would constitute. And now the administrators say, however, we're looking, and now get this.
Okay.
We're looking at revamping it. We still want the club, but we're going to revamp it.
To only go on trails that...
No.
Okay.
No. They're going to revamp it, not kidding, to a film club.
Oh, my gosh.
Not joking. And this is
a
how...
Netflix club.
Not joking. And this is how the person ends it. They end the article like this. Maybe they can take a virtual reality walk in a padded room, provided there's cell service.
That was kind of a...
Yeah.
I go hiking to not have cell service.
There you go.
That's why I enjoy hiking. Is
some kind of movie watching club. Please,
let's go watch a movie.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole Verizon commercial, about, can you hear me now? And he's out in the middle of nowhere.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, I don't want him there. I want to be where he's not, which now he's on Sprint. But
yeah, that's right.
I'm probably where he's not.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway. Wow, it got quiet all of a sudden. I can't believe.
You're on.
Yeah, you
said you had a.
By the way,
you had this stack of articles.
Well, I do. I'm sorry, I had to type something or I'll forget it. By the way, flip phones are back.
I have not. I've kind of heard some of that, but I have not seen one.
Well, A recent report in the Seattle Times cited an artist who was overwhelmed by constant alerts, his creativity drained. So he opted for a flip phone. Doesn't do email, Instagram, Facebook. Well, he don't have to be on it.
So he's on, you mean non-smartphones?
Yeah.
Not just a flip phone.
Well, yeah. A flip phone. But
what if I wanted a flip phone smartphone?
Nah, they don't really make. I guess they make some. Well, a few of these are the LG Exalt LTE, Nokia 8110, and AT&T has the Singular. I've heard it both ways. Flip 2. Hey, that thing's like $59.99. I don't know. There might be something to that.
$59.99.
Certainly save money.
Can you use Facebook on it?
No.
Twitter?
That is the point.
Email?
That is the absolute point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my reduced stack of cell phone.
That wasn't much of a stack.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're pressed for time here. Hey, Techies Show. Be right back. Welcome back into the
Hey Techies Show.
Techies Tech Show.
What's the show called again?
The Hey Techies. It's about tech. Somebody's getting a call.
Man, this phone. This is the reason why I go hiking.
Well, this is sort of tech.
No, it is totally. It's using an app. It's totally tech.
So this is.
We have not done like a.
He's
pick.
He's done away with that.
In a long time.
He's done away.
That's gone bye.
He's arbitrarily done away.
had-
I guess I'm going to have to start him back up.
What did we call it? Pick of the week?
No,
we haven't done
this
that
week in tech history.
Oh no, you hadn't done that either. But
No,
I was
I got
talking
rid of
about,
that
like
too.
we had apps that we used to pick, or something in tech we used to pick. Y'all remember doing that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I got a couple I wouldn't recommend, but I'll leave that.
Hey,
to
there you
I'll
go.
keep that to myself.
What are they?
I ain't gonna say it on there.
Well, anyway, you were going
So,
to talk about it.
I was recently, as we've said on the show, I was in San Diego a few weeks ago for work,
yeah.
for a conference. And I noticed these, I really didn't know anything about it till I got there and I started doing some reading and understanding research. But they have these bike sharing, scooter sharing services, but they have these, like, I've seen them in New York City and other places, but what's unique about some of these out there on the West Coast is there's no like set place you pick them up and return them to. They're just kind of scattered, for lack of a better term.
Kind of polluting the streets that they're
Polluting the streets. I guess you can call it that. There's several of these, and they started in San Francisco, apparently. Like, Uber started in San Francisco. But basically what it is, for those who don't know, you use an app, for that company. One of them's Lime Bike. There's also Bird and Spin. But you get their app, set up an account. It'll tell you where the bike is at. It has location on the bike, and you can use the app to figure out where it's at. And you go up to the bike and scan the QR code, and basically you unlock the bike. There's a lock that goes through the spokes.
Yeah.
And you pay like $1 to unlock it, and it's so much per 30 minutes, or the electric scooter's like so much per minute.
Sure.
And then when you're done, you lock it back, and then you only pay for the time you use the.
You get that $1 back.
Yeah, you pay for what you've used, basically. But you just leave it wherever when you're done with it, you just leave it where it's at, lock it back, and move on. But apparently,
Where do you charge it?
Well, the electric scooter, they apparently collect them at night and charge them, and then redistribute them in the morning.
Huh. I guess they got GPS tracking on them.
Yeah, that's what I said. The app has GPS tracking.
Totally not paying attention.
But it's causing a little snafu in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find this part. So, let's see. I had it and I lost it. Just want to make sure.
My bad.
So back in late March, this got debuted in San Francisco, which they had it a couple weeks ago in San Diego too. Lime Bike, like I saw them. You can unlock the scooter with the app. You pay a nominal amount, $1 to unlock, 15 cents per minute. When you're done, you lock it. It'll be ready for the next person. So, but here's the problem: is people are riding them down sidewalks. They're leaving them just places you shouldn't leave them, like blocking driveways and stuff like that, and also, like in California, the state law is motorized scooters must be used in a bike lane or on the road. It's also against the law to ride them without a helmet and without a driver's license. So basically, what's happening is San Francisco is getting ready to crack down on it. They're not only working on some legislating these scooters, but on April 16th, the city attorney sent out a cease and desist letter to all 3 companies to end operation until regulations are in place. The city also passed a law demanding that all scooters have permits. Scooters found without permits will be subject to impoundment. And I was sitting there reading this, and it kind of reminds me, reminiscent of a couple years ago when Uber started, and all the controversy it was starting, and because it was a different business model, and it was basically taking away business from, like in that case, the taxi industry and the car service industry and stuff, and just kind of thought about that because this is very entrepreneurial. I can't say that word, but thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. What you think, Michael? You're over there. You got an opinion about that?
I just think that this is another example that government has found another way to attempt to capitalize on absolutely anything and everything that someone else is already capitalizing on. And they find an excuse
Uncle
in
Sam
order
wants their piece too.
The city of San Francisco wants their piece of any pie that someone else might be profiting from or giving a service to that the city is not giving a service to.
But leaving these boxes everywhere,
I get that, but that was expected.
It's polluting the city.
You had
and a pollution tax.
You had, well, I'm sure they're thinking of that one already. You had to know that was going to happen. I mean, if you say you can leave it anywhere, what do you think most people are going to do?
Left it in the middle of the street.
Well,
that's anywhere. I left it 1,200 feet in the bottom of the ocean.
I don't really think. I agree. I don't know how much damage that's going to do exactly.
Go get this one.
Yeah, go get this one.
And I don't know.
If you have scuba gear, you can get this one.
But back to these scooters, people were riding those scooters in San Diego.
Yeah.
And I saw them, like, there was one out in front of the hotel one day I was staying at. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And that's the regular pedal bicycles. But people were riding these things down the sidewalks and stuff. I don't know what the laws were in San Diego in terms of you can't ride them down sidewalks. Most places, I think you can't motorize things. But
yeah, except for the exception of like wheelchairs and I guess what are those called? The scooter. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The
yes,
assistant
scooters.
Well, that's different. That's an assistive, like somebody that has mobility needs help with mobility.
Non-recreational
Right.
motorized vehicles.
That's used to help somebody that needs the extra, that has mobility.
Non-recreational.
Motorized vehicles are allowed on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be non-recreational.
Yeah, I understand that. That's for transportation when you can't.
When somebody can't walk.
When you can't walk.
Non-recreational.
I got it.
Anyway, so I saw that this week, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
It
I wanted to
is.
share it, so use an app. There's an app for that.
I wonder if Bruce saw where Web Stressor was shut down.
No.
Yeah, webstressor.org. It's one of those websites where you could purchase DDoS attacks.
Oh yeah, I did hear
really?
about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could purchase it for less than $20.
The internet police shut them down. The internet police are real.
Yeah. Well,
they do have a good business model, because if you needed to, like, you were standing up some sort of a e-commerce site or something, you wanted to try to test your defenses.
That's not
sure. That would be a good.
Yeah, that
would be a
good.
legitimate use.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, that's not what it's being used for.
You're standing up a e-commerce site and you want to make your competitor unavailable.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it can have nefarious use cases, unfortunately.
There is, and actually, if they've seized the website and there's a graphic on the website that explains it's been taken down and by whom. So the United States Department of Defense, Defense Criminal Investigative Service, Cyber Field Office, in accordance with a warrant issued by the United States District Court of the Eastern District of Virginia. This domain name has been seized in conjunction with operation called Power Off. Operation Power Off was what? It's also by law enforcement for the Netherlands, United Kingdom, Serbia, Croatia, Spain, Italy, Germany, Australia, Hong Kong, Canada, United States, and Europol. So anyway, there you go. If you were one of those ones that used this product, by the way, I know you wouldn't, but you can't use it now. So anyway, that's, I guess, another useless, and I'm actually putting people to sleep at this point, I'm sure. Bruce is almost completely asleep.
Well, we got a minute left.
Guru is snoring.
All I can say is Congress is still waiting for Zuckerberg to send his responses that he would have his team look at and get back.
Yeah.
He's working on it. He's right now just
right.
working tirelessly to try to get that ready.
Yeah, he's over there in the greater Facebook offices.
I have nothing truthful to tell them. Just don't send anything.
I don't know.
And what's funny too is that Facebook admits did not read the terms of the app that harvested data on 87 million users.
Yeah, oh man, we only got 30 seconds. I don't know. I don't know
Facebook
about
does
that
not
one.
plan to be GDPR compliant. Nike sued for running pirated software.
You're just reading off headlines now.
These are things I plan on talking about.
Yeah, after the show's over.
No. But real quick on the Nike thing.
Well,
you got about 10 seconds.
Well, from all of us to all of you, we hope you have a fabulous weekend. And we know Bruce will.
I'll try.
Yeah. And the guru will.
And we're not going to be here next week.
No, I won't be here and you won't either, apparently.
Yeah, I won't.
Yeah, we're not going to have a show next week. But we'll catch us the week after that. Hey, Techie Show. See you in 2 weeks.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Spear.